So a little bit slower. I feel there's excitement, Ms. Grogan, but I want to
Well,
get
there's frustration with her.
I understand that, but written is an email. That's what I'm saying. That is the new law. Yeah. Then that's all she's got to prove.
I think we're just having a misunderstanding.
Did you pay February rent in full on time? Yes or no?
When you fall behind on rent, the courtroom is usually the last place you want to end up. But if you do end up there, your best move is to come prepared with payments instead of excuses. Today in the Travis County Justice of the Peace Court in Texas, Judge Sylvia Holmes is hearing an eviction case between landlord Ashley Perryman and her tenants Christina Grogan and Matthew Garza. The rent is $1,900 a month, and several months have gone unpaid. But according to Christina Grogan, the unpaid rent is only a small part of the bigger story, and she has plenty to say about everything else going on. Judge Holmes has heard versions of this before, and she is not interested in entertaining any of it.
Okay, 26462, Ashley Perryman versus Parker Grogan, Christina Grogan, and Matthew Garza. Do I have someone here on behalf of the plaintiff? Ashley Perryman.
Hello. Hi, Judge. Ashley Perryman.
Good afternoon, Ms. Perryman. Okay. First, do I have someone on behalf of Parker Grogan? Anyone for Parker Grogan? Don't see it. All right. How about for Christina Grogan?
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Ms. Grogan. I see you there. All right. And do I have anyone on behalf of Matthew Garza?
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Mr. Garza. Thank you for being here.
My
All right. Ms. Perryman, tell me why this case was filed.
Hi. This case was filed for non-payment of rent for a lease that began in October 15th, 2025, and expires October 31st, 2026. The monthly payment rent, I'm sorry?
No, I didn't mean to interrupt you. What's the monthly rent?
The monthly rent is $1,900. There is no subsidy here or involved at all. There's no parties that have expressed DOD involvement. They have been previously late before. We are trying to recover a February partial, March, and April.
How much is still owed for February?
it froze.
13/15.
When was the notice to vacate given?
Notice to vacate was given on March 4th, and we gave them 5 days via email, so March 9th.
All right. All right. Good afternoon, Ms. Grogan, Mr. Garza. Who would like to speak first? I just want to make you all know, because you're not in the same room. That way you're not talking over each other.
I will.
Okay. Mr. Garza,
so-
you'll absolutely get a chance to respond. Ms. Grogan, let me ask you my first set of questions, and then you absolutely get a full answer. Is it
Yes,
correct that the monthly rent $1,900?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then Ms. Perryman said that there was a partial payment made in February, but no rent paid for March and April. So is that correct? Has no rent been paid for March and April?
No, she knows that we have payment. There's just been some not consistent
Real quick,
information.
Ms. Grogan, are you and Mr. Garza in the same room?
Yes.
Yeah, just get on one device with each other because you're echoing,
Okay.
right? Like you're fine. You can just sit next to each other. We'll be totally solid.
I turned it off and just hop over here. So sorry about that.
No, it happens. Yo, we even have this sometimes in the courtroom. Oh yeah, you're fantastic. Okay. All right. So let's start. It's $1,900 a month. Did you pay February rent in full on time? Yes or no?
No.
Okay. How much was owed in February?
I'm so sorry.
In February, how much did you pay?
That's where I'm not quite sure because there's multiple of us paying and we're getting different numbers from her.
Let me ask you this, Ms. Grogan. How do
Yes.
y'all pay the rent if you pay separately?
My husband, Parker Grogan, and Matthew Garza are the ones that handle all the payments. With
Okay.
with either Zelle or money order, and there's been some issues with Ashley saying that she hasn't gotten payment from us before when we've dropped it off.
Here's my question.
Yes, ma'am.
In February, when was payment made? By you?
I have personally never paid anything.
Okay. Mr. Garza, have
Yes,
you
ma'am.
ever personally made rental payments?
Yes, ma'am, I have.
Okay. Did you personally make any rental payments in the month of February?
So in February, we had made a partial money order in person, $1,000 that covered, it was 1,900, so 1,315 was a balance of February, since we had a credit of, it was 585.
Mr. Garza,
Yes, ma'am.
in February, what day did you give the landlord money?
It was on January 23rd.
So it wasn't in February, it was in January.
Correct. But
Okay,
it covered partial February rent.
January 23rd, you gave the landlord money. How
Yes.
did you give them that money? Was it a check, a money order? Was it
Money
Zelle?
order in person,
Money order. How much was that money order for?
$1,000.
$1,000. And that was to be applied toward February rent? Okay. Now the rent is $1,900. Did you make a subsequent payment of $900?
No, ma'am.
So 900 remains outstanding for February.
Yes, it says 1315 is the balance for
I get
February.
it. I'm not worried about what it says. I'm asking
Gotcha.
you, what do you know you paid? You know you
Yes.
gave $1,000. If the
Yes,
rent's 1,900, there's a $900 deficiency.
yes.
Mr. Garza, to your knowledge, did Mr. Grogan pay the $900 difference?
I'm not sure. I don't
So
think
as
so.
far as we know, $900 remains outstanding.
Hmm.
Okay. Now, how about for March rent? Did anyone pay anything toward March?
No,
Has anything been paid for April?
No, ma'am.
So there's no dispute that March is unpaid, partial of February remains, and April hasn't been touched.
no, we've made a payment on March, I believe,
Mayor.
March 11th,
11th.
and that's, the
Okay, on
issue
March-
is
March 11th, what was paid? How much?
we paid it towards 100, we paid 100, and then Parker let Ashley know that we were gonna make another payment, and that's when she filed for the eviction.
Y'all, let's go a little bit slower. I feel there's excitement, Ms. Grogan, but I want to
Well,
get.
there's frustration with her.
I understand that, but February rent was not paid in full.
Correct. Can I like explain myself as well?
I would.
She hasn't been following anything. The address on the unit on our address is not even correct. It should be Unit A because there's 2 units on this property, not just one. She delivered it by email, which in our lease, it clearly says that she needs to give us a written notice. She's told,
Email is a written notice under the law now.
I'm sorry,
Texas law change, email constitutes a written notice.
even if though our lease says it needs to be written.
Written is an email. That's what I'm saying. That is the new law. Yeah.
Okay, you're not, okay, I think we're just having a misunderstanding, but my point is there's no good faith. So we have the whole amount of rent due, and we let her know this, but that we did not trust her to take the money and still proceed with the eviction notice because we've dropped the money order at her house, and she's claimed that she's never gotten it.
I'll be, Ms. Grogan, she can't evict you even if you gave her all the money today. If you don't
No.
pay in, if you don't pay in full on time, that is a violation of the contract. The landlord can evict you wholly for being late with it.
No, and that's fine. And I understand that. I'm just saying we were trying to work with her before and we had been late before and we had made the payments. It's just, there's a lot of consistencies with her that we did not feel comfortable giving her the full amount of rent before eviction and her claiming that we didn't pay. Because we already had that with her, of her claiming we haven't given her a money order when we have.
But
And
Ms. Grogan,
It doesn't-
Ms. Grogan, it's not a dispute that you did not pay the rent in February in full.
I don't know if you're not, we have it.
I know
and-
that you have it, but you didn't pay it on time in full in February, correct?
Correct.
Then that's all she's got to prove. But what you're saying is that you didn't pay her in full because you don't trust her. That may be true, and I may believe you, but I can't not evict you for that. The law and the lease said you pay it in full up front. If you
No.
think she's a shady landlord, that may be true, but it's not a defense to the fact that you didn't pay the rent in full in February. She wins because you didn't pay in full in February.
No, I understand that. So are we just not going like by like her not having the right address by not it because it
None
doesn't
of
make
those
sense.
things- No, because none
And
of
that's
those are-
fine. It doesn't matter because we're moving away. We're moving this weekend, and I still plan on, I guess, countersuing her for everything because we spoke to code, and they're not even supposed to be renting the property.
Ms. Grogan, you signed a lease, correct?
Yes, I did. And she
Okay.
also signed the lease to uphold certain things, and she has not.
What are you renting from the landlord?
A house,
A house. And is the house are you living in the house?
correct.
Okay. What part of the house is not allowed to be lived in?
There's an AUD,
The garage.
the garage that they
garage.
renovated, and that they've already gotten a code violation
Okay.
and everything. Like I said, there's been so many inconsistencies, very illegal activity that like I said, that doesn't matter. You can, I understand the payment part, but it takes 2 to tango.
Judgment for the plaintiff, right? You said they haven't paid rent. Y'all acknowledge that you paid $1,000, you owe her $900 for February. You paid nothing for March, so that's another $1,900. And then for April, 7 days. Let's figure that out. All right. I get $63 a day for 7 days, $443 for the month of April. All right, so $443 plus $1,900 for March. plus the $900 outstanding for February. Judgment for the plaintiff, $3,243 in back rent. Either party can appeal. I'll put that at 1 month of rent, $1,900, because to double it would put it as more than the judgment. All right, Ms. Grogan, for yourself, for Mr. Grogan who's not here, and for Mr. Garza, you have 5 days. You absolutely can appeal that decision. Day one is tomorrow. If you want to appeal, the appeal bond's $1,900. If you can't afford it, you absolutely can do it with an affidavit of inability. If you want to stay in the unit while you appeal, and these are two different things, because you can appeal and move, but if you want to live there while it's appealing, then you've got to pay rent at the $1,900 amount. But you pay it to the court. We give you a very specific day and time for that, okay?
Okay.
All right, so you have at least 5 more days, y'all. Then tomorrow. It's only if no one does anything that on this day the landlord can take the writ of possession. All right.
Okay.
Contact
Thank you.
legal aid and go through all of your issues and really talk to a lawyer who can help y'all understand exactly what's going on. In the court, I'm limited to very specific things here. Okay? All right. Very best of luck to everyone. Truly, truly, truly. All parties are excused. Thank you.
Having a lot to say and having an actual defense are two very different things, and Christina Grogan learned that the hard way today. She walked in with a laundry list of complaints about her landlord and walked out with a judgment against her, a 5-day clock already ticking, and enough confidence left over to mention that she was planning to countersue on her way out. Judge Holmes has probably seen every version of this in that courtroom, but there is always something remarkable about the confidence of someone who has not paid the rent and still arrives with a full list of grievances ready to go. And if you enjoyed watching Judge Holmes cut straight through it, subscribe and leave a like.